I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stump the Guru Show. My name is Ari Galper with Trust-Based Selling. Here we are in 2023. Hard to believe. I'm actually traveling this week, so the background's a bit different than you're probably used to, but we'll proceed along on this path anyways. And if you're new to the show, this is a chance to jump in live. Just go to www.stumptheguru.com. Like it sounds, it'll log you right in, and you can be in the queue here to come online and ask me a live sales question. Bring me your challenging ones where you're chasing someone right now. You need some outside perspective. Your own sales manager can't give you the answer. You want some outside perspective. This is a place to come to. So if you don't know who we are, we focus in a specific niche called trust-based selling. We have our own platform, unique languaging, a mindset shift that's been successful now for 20 years. We've been doing this. So what's interesting is as the world changes, human nature doesn't. It's still the same. We have the same challenges to build trust with people in the sales process, and we're here and committed to help you solve this problem. So the live show is where you jump in live. You can ask a question, and my co-host Steve will bring you in and just introduce yourself, kind of explain what you do, and we'll rapid fire some answers back to you. And to those of you on the podcast, listen to this who aren't here live, glad you're here. We have thousands of listeners every month that download these podcasts on Spotify and iCloud and Apple to listen to these recordings to catch a big idea to use right away for the new year. So welcome back, everyone. And Steve, we'll go live and let us know who's in the... Oh, actually, I wanted to mention before we start, there was a theme that I chose for this month. And the theme was this notion, this old conditioning, that we believe that our job is to build a relationship with someone on our first sales conversation with them. That comes from the old habits that we've been used to doing from years where we believe that our job is to get the other person to like us, to get to know us. You know, the whole know, like, and trust model. So if they know us and they like us and we're friendly with each other, then they'll work with us. Well, that only works half the time. In fact, I had a call this morning with a financial advisor who is converting half of her leads, but the other half she's losing. In most cases, because she's still using the know, like, and trust model as the only way to approach the conversations. And what I discovered was that in many cases, your prospects don't really want to get to know you. They don't want to become your friend. In fact, they know sometimes it's inauthentic to build trust with someone in a relationship-based model so quickly. But instead, what they want from you is clarity. When you go see a doctor, do they try and become your friend? Do they want you to get to know them better? No. They ask you one simple question. Where does it hurt? And they help unpack the issue. They don't try and solve it right away, but they give you a treatment plan to solve it. And you get clarity from them and relief from them and trust from them because they have identified your problem. And so for those of you who grew up with the old sales guru saying to you, you've got to build a relationship first before you make the sale. That is a false notion because you build a relationship with someone after they're a client, not before they're a client. And we have a model for that called the one-call sale on how to do that. So if you want to learn more about that, go to unlockthegame.com/free consult, apply for a consultation, complimentary. We'll walk you through the model and see if it works for you. All right. So that's the theme for today. And let's get the show going. See who's back there who wants to jump in.
All righty. First, Happy New Year's to everybody out in the universe here. LinkedIn. Where are we going today? LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch even, and Twitter. So wherever you're watching us, thank you. And hope you enjoy what we have in store for 23. First up, I'm going to bring on Bobby. It looks like Bobby's getting his camera set back up. He was the original first, but he's popped in and out. Let's give him a second real quick to see if he lights up that camera. It looks like he may be having tech issues. So let's go to the next person. I'll slot Bobby in as we go. So first up is going to be Bob Kerr. Hey, Bob, how are you? If you could let everybody know a little bit about you and your question for Ari, please.
My name's Bob Kerr. I have a digital marketing company in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. excuse me, but my puppy is scratching at my door. Anyways, Aria, I know I've read some of your material before, heard it about what I'm doing is basically I've got a list that I've scraped using a tool for certain businesses. In this case, it's plumbers, and I'm cold calling. But I think I have not got it quite right, and I'm not using the correct language. So when I think I'm wasting a lot of my time and their time because I'm just not getting through to a decision maker. So
Did you say your target was farmers?
no, plumbers.
Plumbers, sorry. Okay, plumbers.
No. It could be farmers in Saskatchewan. It certainly could, but not in assistance.
Sure. And what do you help them with specifically, plumbers?
Websites, SEO, digital display ads to target their demographics. They can kind of target by postal code or even demographics, who you are,
Okay.
what you do.
So the problem you help them solve, if it's one problem, is what? Is it to have their phone ring for new plumbing jobs?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That simplifies things, because what you mentioned to me was just 3 or 4 minutes a minute ago, 3 or 4 mediums that you use to get to that goal, which is websites, SEO. But really what they care about is not those things. What they care about is the problem you help them solve.
Right.
And
yeah.
so what, if you wouldn't mind sharing, when you're making your calls now, what are you saying on the phone from beginning word for word?
I'd say, hey, hi, my name's Bob. I'm with Living Sky Marketing. We help local plumbing companies with their overall online presence using websites and SEO. And I kind of say, well, SEO was, helps you get found at the top in the map pack, I guess is what you want to say. And then targeting with digital display ads. But I find when I'm talking to the gatekeeper, I just, we've got that, or sometimes I shouldn't say it, but I find it kind of turns into the numbers game, because there is certainly sometimes you get through because we are looking for somebody.
So let me suggest, first of all, that you cut out 90% of what you just said.
Perfect.
Let's try and decomplex this to make it simple for the receiver of the other end of the call to want to let you in the door without feeling suspicious of your goal being to only make the sale. Okay, so let's start the phone call focused specifically on the actual problem that you solve. So here's what I might suggest. Hi, Julie, my name is Bob. I'm with, XYZ company. I'm just giving you a call. And maybe Bob's the owner of the plumbing company, to see if Bob would be open to some different ways to create more projects, more clients, more plumbing work to grow his business. Is that something you think he'd be open to?
That sounds a lot better.
You see, what you're doing is you're kind of cramming in all the elements of your solution. But see, they really don't care about how you solve the problem. All they care about is if you're the one to solve it or not. How you do it, online presence may not be their thing. They're sitting, under the tubes in their truck with a wrench, and you're talking about online presence, right? So what I'm trying to do is sort of zero base this process so you can enter the conversation with something that they feel they want. And I think it's going to be around the problem that you solve, which is, would he or would you be open to some different ideas to generate more work for your plumbing business? I mean, that seems to me like a very basic question. Now, if they say to you, no, we don't need more work, we don't need more clients, no, we're all full, well, then just say, have a nice day, and hang up the phone.
Gotcha.
But if you have a very precise question around a problem that they know they need help with, almost every time they'll respond to you back with, what do you mean to tell me more? I just finished a call a few minutes ago with someone who's a consultant who helps manufacturing businesses grow, and he helps them solve the problem through performance of their team. And I gave him this one phrase to use on his calls and his ads as well, and LinkedIn. I said to him, use this one question. Are you 100% happy with the performance of your team? And he tried that, and of course he got a yes in the meeting because no one's 100% happy with their team. But the point here is crystallization of the problem. So hopefully, Bob, you give that a try and let us know how it goes. How does that sound?
Perfect. Thanks, Ari.
Thank you, Bob. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, welcome back to Stump the Guru. We are live right now. My name is Ari Galper. I specialize in trust-based selling. I've been doing this for the last 20 years. And it's fascinating how much does not change over the years and how much does change. But what doesn't change is the exact issues that many of you might be having right now, which is how to stop chasing prospects, how to stop doing proposals, and how to build trust with people on a single conversation. They trust you enough to go with you, or at least move forward to a next step without you having to chase them afterwards. So if you're stuck somewhere in that zone, then you found your home here. So if you want to ask us a private question, not public here, you can go to unlockthegame.com/free consult and apply there, and we'll assign you to someone to have a chat with you over the phone or Zoom, no fee at all. So welcome back, and Steve, who's next?
All righty. It looks like Bobby's got his camera issue sorted. I can see him loud and clear in the green room here. So I'm going to bring Bobby on. Hey, Bobby, how are you today, my man? If you can let everybody know a little bit about you and who you are and your question for Ari.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby, I can hear you.
Hey,
Sounds
Ari,
good.
how are you? Yeah, I'm working with a company called Analytics. We're an Amazon ads partner.
Yep.
And so I actually did the change. I used to work in merchant services, so I took Ari's advice. And it's similar to eBay, where they post products on their platform.
Yep.
So the initial goal is to take, I'm going to be calling outbound leads, cold calling.
Okay.
The initial purpose is to get the Amazon seller to an audit. And then on the audit, it'll show the ROAS, the return on ad spend, which will be about 3 times greater. So my pitch right now is I'm just giving you a call to see if you'd be open to a different way to get more exposure on your Amazon products. But my company wants me to talk about the pain points. And there's a lot of pain points. One of them is the seller is spending too much time managing their ads. They could be dealing with inventory issues, or they could be spending a lot of money on ads and not getting a good return, or maybe they've hired a vendor to manage their ads and they're not getting the results they want. So I was wondering,
Bobby, why don't we try something here? Why don't we use a similar notion that I mentioned a few minutes ago? And why don't you use as an opening problem statement something around the core issue here, which is, are you 100% happy with the ROI on the current ad spend you're getting right now in your business?
Oh, okay. That's a different approach, different way to get in.
Well, my guess is most people aren't happy with their spend on advertising.
Okay.
If they were, here's the thing with you. If they are happy and they're making so much money with their ads, they're not a fit anyways.
Okay, got it.
Your ideal client is one of the Amazon, vendors who are placing their ads on the search bar in Amazon and are not getting a return on investment. Or that's your ideal client, right?
Correct, yeah.
So all you have to do is articulate that problem. And if they resonate with it, they go, yeah, well, what can you do for us? Well, then now you've got somebody who you know has that problem.
And then if they say what you can do about that, I could say something like, we have an automated platform.
No. Do not sell. Do not talk. They don't care about your platforms. They don't care about your automation. They've heard this 1,000 times. They live in that world already. What you want to say is this. You want to say, if you'd be open to it.
Okay.
What I'd be happy to do is schedule a consultation with you. No fee. I'll waive the fee. You're a doctor now. They're the patient. No fee. And what I'll do is we'll schedule a Zoom call. We'll log into your account. And I'll look and see where you're losing money, where the holes are in your ad spend, so we can build a business case for this to see if it makes sense to do something together. If there's no business case, then no problem. Would you be open to that, Mike?
Okay, got it. So this wouldn't be a situation where you'd have to ask trustees questions like, "Can you tell me a little bit about your story?" You would suggest just go to the audit.
Well, you schedule the consultation with them. You don't go into the
Okay,
solution.
got it.
You schedule the consultation. Then when they show up on Zoom, then you start with, can you walk me a bit through your business background and your model, and we'll kind of go from there. You start going down the iceberg on the consultation, not on the outbound call.
Okay, got it. And then one last question. When they say something like, who are you with? Would you suggest I say, my name is Bobby, I'm with Mayan? Would you suggest consulting, or would you say, I'm sorry, my name is Bobby, I'm with Mayan, and we're an Amazon ads partner? And then
I would use the word consulting in there somewhere. I would use the word consulting in there somewhere. So they feel that they're not being slammed into a solution, but they feel like you're someone who's happy to spend some time with them to analyze the problem first, make sure there's a business case to even address it. And if there is, then you go to the next step, maybe a demo after that. You probably might need even a roadmap around this process to walk them through how you work, through the process. But I think in your case, because you're in a commoditized business, you need to show them that you're heavy on diagnostics first and the ROI first before commencing with any assumptions at all. In fact, you could even say that. You could even say, I don't want to make any assumptions yet about your until we actually log in together and I can see what's going on. Would you be open to that? See, that to me says this person's willing to look at the truth and see what's going on.
Okay, got it. Okay, great. I appreciate it. Nice seeing you again, Ari. Thanks.
You too, Bobby. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So we're on a roll here. We've had 2 questions so far about outbound, approaching people over the phone. As you notice, outbound calling has come back alive again after so many years. It sort of disappeared as the internet took off. And online marketing was the end all for everybody. But as you can see, that has not turned out that way for lots of folks that they're spending lots of money. It's not working so well. So a lot of people are back to outbound conversations, which can still work if you do it the right way. And if you're anti-outbound calls, it's probably because you're used to being rejected and not working because you're using an old approach. So I commend all of you out there who are going back to the basics, but this time around doing it right. Okay, so we're back to the show, and Steve, who else is back there?
All righty, coming on. One of the ironies of outbound calling is that a lot of times these businesses need to use it now to be able to sell the digital part of it, right? So it's kind of coming full circle.
Isn't that ironic that we sell
absolutely wild?
We're using the phone to make the sale.
It's wild. 20 years ago, I was doing the outbound, and now we're obviously not and going full circle with it. So it's hilarious. I'm going to bring up next Peter Toft. So Peter, hey, how you doing today? And I'll let you go right at it. Let everybody know who you are and your question for Ari, please.
Hi, Ari. Good to meet you. I'm Peter, and I am in the financial sector, wealth management and investment advice. And I just want to hear your opinion on something which might fit good into the theme of today.
Sure.
I feel it seems a little bit since COVID that potential client, they take much longer time to make a decision, whether it's a yes or a no. They want to think about it, or suddenly they just disappeared. And I feel it's a little bit frustrating because I feel I use a lot of time to build relationship, to understand their situation, maybe even take them to lunch. So I just want to hear your opinion. Do you think it's something we should just get used to in the new world, or do you have some suggestions on that?
Well, definitely not accepted as normal. Let's accept it as abnormal. And the way you solve that problem is to ask yourself in your mind, what can I do to help them come to the conclusion that their problem is either a priority to solve or not a priority to solve? So see, what happens a lot of times is we're afraid to actually ask bold questions. We're afraid because if we ask too bold questions, we might hurt the relationship, because we're taught to have them like us first, go to lunch,
Exactly.
play a game of golf, rub some shoulders, and once they get to like us and know us, then the hope is they'll work with us. Well, as you know, those days are over, because as you're saying, you're in the middle of that cycle right now. So what you need to do, Peter, is find the right moment somewhere in the conversation, most likely up front. Once you've identified with them the clear problem they want to solve around their wealth or their management or their money, whatever it might be, and you identify the gap, identify the risk, identify the losses. There's going to be some gap somewhere in their situation. That's why they're coming to you in the first place. Once you identify that with them and you explore that with them, then I want you to ask this one question. I want you to ask this: is this a priority for you to address and solve once and for all? And if not, that's okay. But I just need to know if it's something you want to address and work on right away, or something you're happy to table now and work on in the future. Which one would it be? And I'm okay either way. You're going to have to ask that question somewhere early in your process to sift out who is serious about solving the problem and who's not, because then you let those people go who are not, and the ones that are serious, you can work with them.
Yeah. It actually sounds logical, and I guess, well, then they do not have to need to take so long time to take a decision, say, well, no, Peter, or yes, Peter, or whatever.
See, the issue is not the time it takes to make the decision. The issue for them is that they're indecisive.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is make them make a decision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying forcefully. I'm just saying boldly in a nice way. I think it's a very reasonable question to ask this question. Is this a priority for you to address and resolve once and for all immediately, or is something you're happy just to live with for a while, which is fine. I'm okay either way, but you have to create that crossroads for them and make them make the decision. Otherwise, there's no point in pursuing them.
Yeah. Sounds great. I'll definitely try that out and see if it works. But it sounds like a very good question to ask.
And you know
Thank
what?
you, Ari.
I think they'll respect you for that question, because you're not pressuring them to a yes. You're saying either way, I'm okay. All I want to know is, where are you at in this priority process? Is it a priority or is it not? I'm fine either way. It's your problem, not mine. I'm okay with that. See, if you express that to them, they will view you as a truth teller, someone they can trust, and someone who's not playing games with them, because they've been through that whole game playing with other advisors. We have lunch with them, get to know them better, play golfing with them. They already know that routine. They know it's fake anyways.
That's true. That's true. Great, Ari. Thanks a lot.
All right, Peter, take care.
You too. Thank you.
All right. So we're back to the Stump the Guru live show. I think we had a call from Europe just then from Peter, and we had a call from Canada and a call from the US. And so we are global. While you're here live right now, where you can jump on and ask me any question you have right now in the back of your mind that's holding you back from making this your best year ever, as it relates to bringing new clients on board to your business or your company. So, Steve, who's next back there?
All righty, up next, we're going to bring Sam on. Hey, Sam, how are you, my friend? How are things? Happy New Year.
Hey, Steve, happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll leave you for your question for Ari.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Ari. Thanks for having me on the show. My question is around LinkedIn, and I've had some good successes, but I've actually reached a bit of a stumbling block, and I'm hoping you can give me some ideas on what to do next. So just to give you a perspective, my LinkedIn is very targeted to my key target customer and describes very clearly who I work with and what I do for them. So when people look at my profile, there's no ambiguity as to that who I do, what I do, and who I do it for. So the strategy I've adopted is that I've obviously targeted my core target market on LinkedIn. I send them a LinkedIn request with no message at all. They're obviously looking at my profile and then they're accepting the connection. So the good news is that it's actually getting a bit of traction. So I might send out 10 invitations and I'll probably get one, sometimes two back, and just click with the connect. So that's the good part. Here's my challenge. After that, I'm not getting any traction. Now, I've experimented, but typically I go about 4 days because I don't want to be like a vulture straight away. 4 days, I write them a quick message along the lines of,
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Sam. What content are they seeing of yours after they've connected with you?
Well, nothing. Right. All they're doing is they've gone, I'm assuming, they don't know who's this guy. They go to my profile. They see that I
Okay, so
work.
it's funny about that because somehow we think if someone accepts a connection,
Hmm.
we're in business.
Yep.
That's maybe a baby step, yes, in the process. That's good. You have a connection, but it's still a very small flame in the process.
Hmm.
They still have to get to know you and trust you. Just because you're targeted is not enough. That you have to present them or have some model that provides content or something about what you do and how you solve problems they can begin to consume, absorb, and read and understand and see you in action for how you solve the problem that you solve. So you need to start thinking about what can you do to show your context list that you're the authority in what you do. Because if you start to do that, then reach out to them, you'd have a higher likelihood of making that opening with them to want to talk to you.
Right. Okay. So you're suggesting instead of the direct conversation, go post, show them what I do, that sort of thing, and then afterwards have an attempt to have a consultation.
See, it's a
Conversation.
big assumption just because they connected with you that they're going to jump from there to talk to you, which is very unlikely nowadays. Because, here's the reason why. Because everyone's doing what you're doing. Everyone's connecting and sending messages, and everyone hates it. So, and the first number one rule is don't do what everyone else is doing, right? So you've got a gap there. So think about, Sam, what can you create that you can provide in your feed that shows your context that you're the real deal?
Right.
It could
Okay.
be you could interview one of your clients, you've helped them solve their problem and clip the video and put it up there. I think the best model for content in a situation like this is demonstration. The demonstration of your capability. I mean, like our content is mostly clips like these showing how we solve problems, not just articles on general things. We have content, but something around the idea of demonstrating your power. And that's really, I think, the best way to go about it.
All right. So what you're saying is don't engage in a conversation with them after they connect until they've seen some content and got an idea of what I do, how I do it, build a bit of trust in that regard, and then possibly engage with them a little while after that through
Right,
the direct.
because you'll burn the lead if you reach out to them the first time without the content absorption, and then a reply back. You can't go back again. They're going to feel like you're annoying them.
Yeah. Oh, that makes total sense, Ari. I knew you'd have the answer. I thought I'd stump you, but clearly not.
You can always come back anytime you want. We have a new one, Sam, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Ari. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. All right, we're back at the Stump the Guru Show. Quite a variety today of all kinds of questions, from outbound calls to chasing people, to condensing the time process from which they can make a decision, and also LinkedIn. So these are challenges that everyone has. How do you become more effective at what you do? And sometimes the answer is uncommon sense, things that you can't always see because you're so close to what you're doing. And that's why it's so good to come to someone on the outside to get an outside perspective to get some ideas. So I think we're coming close to the end of our show. See if anyone else back there?
Yes, we have 2 more people. And for Sam's point, one great technique that we tell all of our clients is that if you put a sticky note on the side of your monitor and you write the name down when those people you're interested in start engaging your content. And much like baseball, 3 strikes are out in baseball, but 3 strikes you're in with this. So you put 3 little ticks next to their name, and when you get a couple of ticks, you realize they're engaging your content, and it's a perfect time because they warm themselves up with your content. And things like what we do with your content, obviously, it's killer. When you have the video and you have things that are going to pique people's interest, you're going to get those clicks that much quicker and get those conversations rolling that much faster. We've got 2 more people up, so I'm going to bring up Kerry. Hey, Kerry, how you doing, man? It's been a while. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to all of you too. Thanks.
Oh, there's a delay there.
Hey, Gary.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yep.
Wonderful. So I run a nonprofit that teaches people how to de-escalate or calm an angry person in 90 seconds or less. And we work a lot with schools because of the problems that are going on with not just students in the classroom, but also teacher to teacher. And one of the things that I run into sometimes is I'll be talking to a principal of a school and they'll say, well, I love the idea, but we don't have the budget, so I need to talk to my district superintendent. Or the district superintendent says, I need to talk to my school board to approve the funding. And it always seems like they're now having to take over my role of explaining the program. And even though we have some great material that explains everything and lists the pain points and our solutions,
Right.
we start getting into this. Well, tell you what, go ahead and send us a proposal.
Right.
And then I'll talk to my superintendent about it and get back to you. What would you suggest as an alternative to that doesn't always work well? Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't.
You know what? Is there something we can do can we create something to mail to the superintendent that replaces you being live? Because
Yes.
see, where the degradation starts is when you're out of the process and your principal has to go up to superintendent, and now the message is deflated to like 5% of what you just did with the principal, right? Because you're not there. And they got politics and they got. So the question is, what can we do to capture your clear message that's compelling and a no-brainer that can be transferred up the chain without you being there? That's the real question that we have to solve, because if we can do that and make it easy for everyone, then the whole goal is to not have each level sell the next level. The goal is to have the first level say, can we ship you something that is compelling to look at that would, solve this problem? And I'm thinking for you, in your case, it might make sense to develop and create, like I have, one of those video books where it's so novel and so different. And in there is a video of you with case studies, stories, whatever it might be. Maybe even do a custom one for each deal. Hi, I spoke with John, and you've had 7 incidents so far this year with teacher-to-teacher conflicts, and we have a way to solve that problem that lowers your risk. And it's a customized video, because you can do that for each one of them. And you create a few, and you have those mailed out to each level, and that should loosen the grip on the process.
That's a great idea. And that would be so unique that it would be you used the word compelling. And that would be even better than I know you have that book that you hand out, your trusted authority book. But I think the video book would be an even better one, and to pretty much have the same script. Each one would make it simple to pump out multiple ones, but you're changing the subtle facts like a name or how many incidents they had, things like that. So it really feels personal to them. So that's a
the
great
secret, though.
suggestion.
It can't be generic.
Yeah.
So you're not working a high volume model. You're in a very low volume model. You don't probably have hundreds. You probably have a couple of these a quarter or 5 a month or something. So you can actually customize every single video that matches exactly. Basically, your proposal will be in the video.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, thank you, Ari. As always, you're a fountain of knowledge and insight and wisdom. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Good to see you again, Kerry. Take care.
Good to see you.
All right, we are down to the wire here. Our last guest on our show, And we have the show once a month. If you can't be here live to jump in, this goes on the podcast as well. Just go to Spotify, wherever your podcasts are, type in my name, Ari Galper, or type in Stump the Guru, and hopefully it's there. Give us a rating and give us a comment while you're there as well. Let us know if this is valuable for you. And reach out to me if you want on LinkedIn directly, if you'd like as well, or just go to unlockthegame.com. My books are there. You can get a copy of my books. You can also have a complimentary chat with us as well. No pressure at all, as usual. That's what we teach. You learn a lot just by talking to us also. If you're open to it, just don't be afraid of it. All right, last person, Steve. Who do we have?
All right, we're going to bring Jonathan on. And first, I'll say before we bring him on, I thank Jonathan and everybody else today. We had a large roster of people, so everybody's been very patient, waiting for their turn, and it's always appreciated that they stick around in the green room. And I'm going to bring Jonathan on now to ask his question.
Great.
Hey, Ari. Well, I'll try to make it quick on you so you can get out of here.
No problem.
So classic. This is like the whole thing has this whole Stump Ari has been on cold calling. So let's finish with that.
Sure.
I'm in the United States, mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Looking to really expand on working with divorce attorneys and also real estate agents.
Interesting.
A lot of times, real estate agents just look at us like, okay, you're just take. And my special niche is I'm a problem-solving loan officer. So the A paper, give me the problem, but in order to explain that, I need to get in front of them. But based off a phone call, it's like, you're just another lender.
Right.
What are your thoughts? Cold calling, all of that kind of fun stuff.
Well, are you making outbound calls now?
Yeah, I am.
And you mentioned lawyers. What's with that? What's the niche around that?
Yeah, so I have my certification in divorce lending. So so if you're going through a divorce, you come to me first, so we can kind of start working on your real estate. Kind of just looking at it and say, okay, well, who wants to keep the house? You do. Great. Do we qualify? Do we not? I preserve the FICO score and home ownership, and just kind of all of that on behalf of the attorney.
That lends itself, first of all, that's very niche, and I like that because that could become a category of one model where I think that deserves for you to create a trust asset around that. A trust asset can be a mini book, not a book for sale on Amazon, but just a small little booklet around the top 10 issues that you address on this topic. And it would be targeted to divorced lawyers. So the top of the book would say, for divorced lawyers who have clients who will be disposing of property or whatever it is, the problem that you solve. And literally inside this, every chapter addresses the top one, a blind spot or an issue that their clients grapple with, just to prove that your credibility, not answers in there, but problems. And then you use that book as a free gift that you mail to these attorneys, or you advertise a free gift in their niche, in their associations they belong to, on the channel they belong to, and then you fish them out of a pond by them ordering your book as a free gift, and then you have inbound leads coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
That would reverse the whole process. That way, what you're doing is you're creating demand creation versus you chasing them without any context to your authority in your space, because I think that lends itself very well to what I call category of one marketing.
Okay. That's awesome. That's, my hopes was to use the divorce, if it turned into a home sale, boom, real estate agent. So there's my warm lead transfer kind of big old circle here.
I see.
So that's fantastic.
And you could even use that. You know what you could do? Use the same asset that you create, but change the cover to say for real estate agents who are working with divorcees on their property transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So same device, just change the cover and just go after both niches.
That's perfect. Problem solved. Get out of here.
Take care, Jonathan.
All right. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate you.
See you later. Bye-bye. All right. We are signing off for the Stump the Guru show. And hopefully it'll be a great year for everyone who's listening, watching. Please come back next month. Listen to the podcast. Engage with us. Order my book at unlockthegame.com. Click the button for a free consultation. No, there's no bait and switch on that at all. You'll see it for yourself. Don't be afraid of that process. Engage. Reach out if you have a problem. We're here to help. And we'll sign off for now. See you next time. Take care, everyone.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.